Welcome to Divine Public School. Myself, Shalindri Pandey, going to discuss chapter number 4 of class 8, that is metals and non-metals, part 1. In this part, we will discuss about the physical properties of metals and non-metals. Starting with the introduction. Our earth is made up of different elements. Elements are everywhere. They are the building blocks of everything on earth, like air and water. Do you know the air is composed of many elements like oxygen, nitrogen, and argon. Water is a compound made up of hydrogen and oxygen. Similarly, many other compounds like sugar, salt, acids are the combination of different elements. Elements are classified into two categories depending on their physical and chemical properties. They may be either metals or non-metals. Let us study all about materials like metals and non-metals in detail. But before, let us have a quick review on the topic named element. Element. An element is a pure substance that is made from a same kind of atom. It cannot be broken down by chemical methods into simpler components. For examples, gold cannot be broken down into anything other than gold. Means, if you keep hitting gold with a hammer, the pieces would get smaller, but each piece will always be gold. Some other examples of elements include iron, copper, oxygen, hydrogen, helium, silicon, etc. Classification of elements. On the basis of their physical and chemical properties, elements are mainly classified as metals and non-metals. But there are some elements which have intermediate features of metals and non-metals. They are known as metalloids. They are also called as semi-metals. They behave both like metals as well as non-metals. Let's have a quick review of families of elements. There are about 118 elements, of which 94 are natural occurring and others are man-made. At present, about 80 metals are known to us. Though the non-metals are only 22 in number, but they are the major constituents of earth, air, and oceans. Elements are grouped together because they have similar properties. Here are few of the different types of elements categorized, like noble gases, alkali metals, transition metals, non-metals, halogens, alkali earth metals, actinides, and lanthanides. These elements are arranged in periodic table. Now I'll let you know that what is periodic table in brief. It is a tabular display of the chemical elements which are arranged by their atomic number, electronic configuration and recurring chemical properties. Now let us know about the position of metal and non-metals in the periodic table. The elements which are placed on left hand side and in the center of the periodic table are called metals such as sodium, potassium, calcium, etc. These are largely classified as alkali metals, alkaline earth metals and transition metals. The elements which are placed on the right hand side of the periodic table are called non-metals such as chlorine, bromine, oxygen, etc. These metals and non-metals are separated from each other in the periodic table by a zigzag line. The elements placed in zigzag lines show some properties of metals and non-metals are called metalloids such as boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, tellurium, and polonium. It was a brief introduction of periodic table. In detail, you will study in your higher classes. Now, let us know about metals. Metals are those elements that are hard and shiny in appearance. Metals are chemically defined as elements whose atoms have small number of electrons in the outermost shell and have tendency to form positive ions in chemical reactions by losing electrons. Most of the metals have 1 or 2 electrons in their outermost shell. Most of the metals exist as solids at room temperature, except few. Chemically less reactive metals occur in free nature, in free state, while more reactive metals are found in the form of compounds such as oxides, sulfides, halides, carbohydrates and sulfates. It is so because most reactive metals can lose electrons easily while less reactive metals can't. That's why the less reactive metals occur in nature in free state, while more reactive metals are found in the form of compounds. Hence, metals are the elements that have tendency to lose electrons and form cations. For example, sodium. Sodium is having an atomic number 11. By losing one electron, it is forming sodium positive ion, that is sodium cation. Similarly, calcium. Calcium is also having an atomic number 20. By losing 2 electrons, it is forming calcium cation, that is Ca2+. Now, let us discuss about nonmetals. Elements that generally do not shine neither too hard nor too soft are nonmetals. Thus, we can say that the elements that are not metals are known as nonmetals. For example, carbon and oxygen. Most nonmetals have the ability to gain electrons and thus form anions. For example, fluorine is having an atomic number 9. By gaining one electron, it is forming a fluorine anion. Similarly, oxygen is having an atomic number 8. By losing 2 electrons, it is forming oxygen anion, that is O2-. Now, let us discuss about an intermediate feature of metals and nonmetals called metalloids. The metalloids or semi-metals can be defined as those elements which exhibit characteristics of both metals and nonmetals. They are all solids. The 6 metalloids are boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, tellurium and polonium. These elements exhibit both characteristics of metals and non-metals of elements. But in nature, most metals occur in combined state as minerals. They can be isolated from those of minerals in which they are present in sufficient amount. Thus, the mineral from which metals can be extracted conveniently and profitably are called ores. Some metals such as silver, gold and platinum are not very reactive, that's why they occur in the free or native state in nature. Thus, the process of extracting metals in pure form from their ores is called metallurgy. Now, proceeding to our further topic, that is physical properties of metals. Here we are going to discuss about the different physical properties of metals. First one is physical state. Metals are solids at room temperature except mercury. If room temperature is around 30 degrees Celsius, gallium and cesium may also be in liquid state. Luster. The metals have shiny appearance, means they show metallic luster. Due to their shiny appearance, they can be used in jewelry and decorations. Mostly gold and silver are widely used for jewelry. Other metals like platinum and copper can be polished and buffed for a high shine finish. Malleability. It is also one of the property of metals. Metals are malleable. This means that they have the ability to withstand hammering and can be made into thin sheets known as foil without breaking it. It do not break due to the strength of metallic bonds. Gold and silver are the best malleable metals, but gold is one of the softest metal. So, copper is added to gold to decrease its malleability and makes it suitable in the manufacture of jewelry. Ductility. Metals are very ductile. The property of drawing the matter into thin wire is called ductility. For example, 100 grams of silver can be drawn into a thin wire about 200 meters long. Hardness. Hardness is one of the property of metals. All metals are hard except sodium and potassium, which are soft and can be cut with a knife. All metals are not equally hard. The hardness of metal varies from metal to metal. Density. Metals have high density and are very heavy. Density depends upon how atoms or particles are arranged in a specific volume. As iridium and osmium are the elements having the high densities, whereas lithium, sodium and potassium have the lowest density. Thermal conductivity. The process in which a metal allows the flow of heat through it is called its thermal conductivity. Most of the metals are good conductors of heat, such as silver, gold, iron, copper and aluminium. Silver and copper is the best conductor of heat. Electrical conduction. The property in which metals show the flow of electric current throughout its body is called electrical conductivity. All the metals are good conductor of electricity because they contain free or mobile electrons. Melting and boiling points. Metals tend to have high melting and boiling points of the strength of metallic bond. Tungsten has the highest melting point, whereas sodium and potassium have low melting points. Silver has low boiling point. Sonorous. The properties of metals in which they produce sound when striken by a hard object or other surface are called sonorous. Now let's discuss about the physical properties of non-metals. In physical state, non-metals maintain the ability to exist in three different forms, that is, they can take form of solid, liquid or gas. For example, sulfur is a non-metal in solid form, oxygen exists in a gaseous state. Non-lustrous. Non-metals are generally non-lustrous and dull. Carbon and iodine are exceptions. They are lustrous because their surfaces are shiny. Malleability and ductility. Non-metals are generally brittle, or in other words, non-metals are non-malleable and hence they cannot be beaten into thin sheets. Non-metals are non-ductile and hence they cannot drawn into wires. When stress is applied on non-metals, they shatter or broken into. Softness. Non-metals are generally soft, however carbon is an exception, that is, diamond is very hard. In fact, diamond is the hardest natural substance known. Thermal and electrical conductivity. Non-metals are generally bad conductors of heat and electricity due to the absence of free electrons to migrate in response to flow of heat or current. But there is an exception, that is graphite. It is an allotrope of carbon, but it is a good conductor of electricity. Densities. Non-metals have low densities because the intermolecular forces between the molecules are weak and therefore the distance between particles are greater. Melting and boiling points. All non-metals except graphite and diamond possess low melting and boiling point because of weak intermolecular forces of attraction between molecules. Here, distinction between metals and non-metals is given in the form of chart. Metals. Metals have luster called metallic luster, whereas non-metals do not possess any metallic luster. But there is an exception, that is, iodine and graphite possess metallic luster. Metals are generally electropositive, whereas non-metals are generally electronegative. Here is also an exception, that is, hydrogen is a non-metal but it is electropositive. Metals are generally good conductors of heat and electricity, whereas non-metals are generally bad conductors of heat and electricity. Here also an exception exists, that is, graphite is a non-metal but it is a good conductor of electricity. Hydrogen, though a non-metal, is also a good conductor of heat. Metals are usually solids at room temperature. But here also an exception exists, that is, mercury is a metal but it is liquid at room temperature. Non-metals are gases or solids at ordinary temperature, whereas an exception also say that bromine is a non-metal but it is liquid at ordinary temperature. Metals are malleable and ductile, have a high density and reflect light. But here also an exception, that is, sodium and potassium are metals but their densities are less than that of water. Whereas non-metals are not variable and ductile, have low density and do not reflect light. But here also an exception exists, that is, plastic sulfur is ductile. Metals, when hammered, emit a characteristic sound of metallic sound, whereas non-metals do not emit metallic sound. Here is an assignment related to this chapter. Please solve it. Thank you. Stay at home, stay healthy, stay safe.